just have a short item that came in the news today. Oh, let me make sure I get on the other one. Making sure YouTube is up here, so get them to know about this too, because it's important. Come on, baby, what's wrong? What's wrong? Where are you? It takes a little time for it to settle in. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'll have it for people on YouTube. I'll get it in there after I finish this. But it's really about legal help and getting free legal help from the government. And there's, putting this over in Let's Go Help 2 in the chat. That's a report that shows you, it's for members, but I'll share it with non-members on YouTube so you know about this, because it's very important. I mean, we live in the biggest democracy in the world, and most people think that you have to be a millionaire to get legal help, you know, like Donald Trump getting all that legal help, yeah? And what about the average person? Well, the average person for mostly daily lives, there are programs in the government that give you free legal help. See, the government regulates everything. Now, here's an article today in the paper. So the Supreme Court ruled today, they were trying to get rid of what's called the Consumer Finance organization that's part of the government that came up after the the housing crisis in 2008 or whatever, and then they set up this agency, after Wall Street was failing and all that kind of stuff. So they set up an agency to help consumers with consumer finance. And what happened is it's regulating, and it started regulating the payday loan people who charge you 500% interest on loans. And that's illegal all over, but they get away with it somehow. And who was catching them was this consumer finance organization, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. That's what it's called. And they recovered over $20 billion for consumers from bad actors in the business. This is your credit card company, your banks, your mortgage people, your, of course, the payday loan people. They're illegal in most states, but they're sneaking through the radar now. And the Supreme Court really got their ass. And because they were their lobbyist was trying to get rid of the whole Consumer Finance Agency. And actually, the Consumer Finance Agency actually gets its money from the Federal Reserve. It's not even from the budget. But the law says that's where they have to do it. So it's created by Congress, and they had a funny little thing. Well, maybe it shouldn't be here. It's illegal, against the Constitution. You know how lawyers talk. Join us on Sundays for Bankrupt the Credit Bureau. Thank you, Megan. See, Megan knows all about this and how to use the system for legal help. And these people are great. So if anybody who's handling your money, whether it's a credit card, a bank, your loans, wherever they are, and they mess you up, student loans even, mortgages, they have a great consumer information on that page, but most important, they have a complaint system. And their complaint system is wonderful. I've never seen a complaint system do so much for consumers. Now, the FTC does the same thing, and you can file a claim there. But they don't respond to individual complaints. You want to complain to them because it shows you what they should look into and sue people. So if they get enough complaints about a certain organization, somebody scamming you on the internet, the federal FTC will come out and sue the people and get everybody's money. Actually, go to the FTC now and see who they've collected money for, to see if you bought from one of these gangsters, particularly infomercial people. I know them. And you get your money back, and that's what's neat. And probably another bonus, because they screwed you over. And actually, Trump was caught with them. That they screwed Trump. got caught by the FTC, and he had to give all the money back. He was selling that university he had. The university was charging like $30,000 to learn about government programs. Man, I do that for 20. And not only real estate programs, but everything. Well, anyway, so he got caught with his hand in a cookie jar there, and had to give back $25 million. But this was an interesting decision because it was 7-2. When was anything 7-2 in the Supreme Court, especially the new Supreme Court? And what's interesting too, that some of the most conservative people who were against the idea of the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau really ruled to keep them. Now that was very interesting to me. That was even such a bipartisan thing. And 7-2, we haven't had a 7-2 vote since I don't know. So we vote about apples or something, something real American. But what I have here, I want to share with you, is a listing of over 70 organizations like the Consumer Finance Protection Board that will fight for you. See, you file a complaint at the Consumer Finance Protection Board, they follow up. They will contact that organization within 2 weeks. That's right. Hear that? 2 weeks. Doesn't cost you anything. You just send a letter. They have a form to fill out or whatever. You don't have to hire a lawyer, nothing. Now they call the company who screwed you. Okay. Now what's neat about that, the company probably wants to solve that problem no matter what. Once the government gets involved, they would rather fight you as an individual contacting them, because you as an individual, you don't have a lot of money to fight them. That's why you're in debt and you have this problem with the finance company or whatever the hell it is. And so they know you don't have a lot of money to fight. And so you're not going to go to court for 6 months or whatever, but the government will. And they got a lot of money, and they got more money than any finance company, okay? Also, the government has more than money over the heads of these companies that they regulate, because they could put them out of business. See, the consumer finance company is there by law to protect consumers, and if the business doesn't do it right, they could put the business out of business. So they could lose their whole business when you write a letter. You hear that? You could write a letter complaining about that bank, credit card agency, or whatever the other organization is, and this agency could put them all out of business. That's why when they get a letter from an agency like that about you and the problem, it's easier for just send you the money. Because it may cost them their whole business, And if it was just your lawyer, they'll fight a lawyer. So it'll cost them a couple of bucks to fight the lawyer, and they know how to win those cases anyway. But there's a big chance that they could lose their whole business if they lose by you. And you could start that snowball rolling down a hill for them by just filling out a form. But it's not only for financial organizations, it's almost for every company in this country. They're regulated by something. And I'm going to send you a list. I'll put a link down here where you could download. I have the new free legal report by state, every state. So I have a report there for every state. And there's like 70 organizations in every state that will regulate your dry cleaner. See, the dry cleaner screws you over. I'll show you the organization that regulates in the state. They got to get a license. See, they need a license to be a dry cleaner, okay? But if they get too much bad stuff, the state won't give them a license. So if you want $200 for your dry cleaning, you write a letter to the state. I swear you're going to get $200 for the dry cleaning. I don't know positively, but it's safer for them. Just to give you the $200, go away, because they don't want to fight the bureaucrats, because it takes so much effort to fight the government, because it's a big bureaucratic monster, right? And you don't really know how to use it, and so it's easier just to give you $200, solve the whole thing. And that's what's neat. It's sort of like when the IRS sends you a bill for $100, and they're probably wrong, but you're not going to spend 2 days trying to figure out why they're wrong. Fuck it. You send them $100 and they go away, right? Because you don't have the time or whatever. So it's the same with everything. Your utility bill, anything. Your doctor, your dentist. They're all regulated, and you could get satisfaction by just finding the regulatory agency, writing a simple letter, and they'll be on their knees asking for help from you and pleading, well, how much do you need? Even like IRS, there's a special office that fights the IRS for you for free. It's another government office that fights the IRS. Man, how would you know that? An office that fights seniors that are in scams. Or if you're a victim of crime, you get a $30,000 grant because you're a victim of crime. Or fair wages. Maybe they're not paying you time and a half for overtime, and they should. By the way, laws just changed, and they have to pay a lot more people time and a half. You call the government, they come out and could put the company out of business if they don't make you happy. And that's the power you have in this democracy, is that you can use this system against the system, and that's why we have checks and balances coming. Fair housing and buying a house. You feel you're treated unfairly. Hey, that guy got it and I didn't. What the hell? That's, because of whatever, you think you were discriminated against. You file a complaint. It costs you nothing. It could make you a lot of money and put the fear of God in the people that screwed you over. Now, that's like having attorney Bernie that goes after you, like being a Trump attorney going after everybody and scaring them. Yeah, and you have that right too. For crowdfunding, pay legal fees. Man, there's so much. Can file a complaint against your doctor, hospital, and healthcare provider. Wow. Okay. Department of Labor, help your boss doesn't treat you fairly. If you're disabled and they're not taking care of your disability. Legal help for veterans. Free answers to legal questions. And how your bill collectors aren't following the rule and they'll harass you. That's illegal. And you could get $1,000 for them because they called you during dinner. That's right. They have laws they have to file and they don't, because they just want to scare the pants off you and make sure they get their money. So get this link in the bottom, and this is what Let's Go Help is all about, is showing people their alternatives in life where they don't need money to get justice in this country. And we give you unlimited personal help to apply to every single money program and free service that this country has to offer. And it's all for you just because you live here. Okay. And we also give our own grants, over $70,000 every month. That's our profit. Because you were so nice to us, we give you back the money as profit. We don't buy yachts and boats and stuff like that, and planes. No, we give it back to you every single month. So we have 4 grants every month. You apply to them all until you get them all, okay? Talk to you soon. Oh, and don't forget, we have Amber is up at 2 o'clock. She's live on Let's Go Help too. Amber, live. So let her help you get all this money too. Okay, surprise, Trump in trouble. Yeah, it's fun to watch, isn't it? It's a good soap opera. Okay, guys, have fun today. And have fun with Amber. She'll be there. I guess she's on